Hello everyone, how are you? My name's Andre Naranjo and I'm an MBA candidate. However, if you're viewing this now, I absolutely have already achieved my credentials and therefore the initials following my name are completely appropriate. Therefore, let's continue. So, why did I choose SQL? I was attending the data analytics conference that Dr. Baylor created, and the keynote speaker said that it is critical for a business analyst to understand SQL. Now, I went to school to learn business. I didn't go to school to learn how to code, right? So I freaked out and I panicked until I actually bumped into a classmate. I got to give him a lot of credit. Monte Maxwell, thank you for directing me towards this. You saved my life. So there's a website called codeacademy.com. It teaches you everything from Python, SQL, HTML, anything that you want to know. They even updated Watson. It's something that the Mercy Data Analytics program wants to acquire and teach you. So, keep your eye on codeacademy.com because it can definitely put you ahead of the game. Now, when it comes to data analytics, one thing that I kind of realized is that there's 4 steps. Not exactly 4 steps, but a broad 4 steps, especially when it comes to business data analytics. First and foremost, in any business decision, you want to know what the problem is. You want to know what you want to find. You want to know how you can make things better. What do you want to know? That's step number 1 when it comes to business data analytics. Now, where is all this information? Where are you going to find it? Obviously, if you're a very well-established business, you're collecting data all the time. You want to be collecting data all the time. And we're going to be storing it in a database, obviously. But we also want to be able to extract that information at the snap of a finger. For example, Verizon has millions of accounts nationwide. You think they're going to be storing all this information on Excel sheets? Absolutely not. Therefore, they constructed a database and they obtain all that information there. And whenever they need it, they just plug it out. So, obviously, once they identify the problem with what is given through the data, then we put our MBA hats on. And that's where everything that we learned in finance, economy, operations management, marketing, everything comes into play. And then we create a solution. Obviously, we present all of our data through data visualization, such as Tableau, which is a fantastic program if you haven't used it yet. And then we propose our solution. Now, why do we need SQL? So, as I mentioned already a couple of times, Excel is limited in rows and columns. And databases allow us to store massive amounts of data. And now we're going to be able to extract all that information just on command. But we got to know the code in order to extract that information. And as I mentioned, you got to go to codeacademy.com. It's fantastic. It will teach you everything. As of now, the code generator is not functioning properly on Code Academy. Out of all days, it has to be while I'm doing this presentation. So we're going to go to a different website that's going to help me generate the code to show you how to extract information today. So we're going to go to sqlcourse.com. So let's actually do that. And here we are. So this just gives you a lot of information. I know that the site looks like it's from the 90s, doesn't look that clean and crisp like Code Academy does, but just bear with me. It still does what we need it to do. So perfect example here is a table. It has all the information that you need. And there's a couple of practice runs that you can do down here. So they give you these 6 items in order to extract data, and that's what we're going to do. So obviously you can click answer to these exercises and get them. Obviously I already did it just to make the process of this presentation go by faster. But let's do the first command. It says display the first name and age for everyone that's in the table. So display the first name and age for the so we're pretty much looking for just the information here in this column, and then obviously here. So, you know, instead of just writing everything down and putting everything in the Excel sheet, we're going to do this nice and quickly. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to hit select, and then we're going to type in what we want, which is the first name, followed by the age, which we're going to grab from the EMP info table. That's the name of it. Let me show you something interesting. If you do not put this symbol here after this, the query won't run. Let me show you. I'm going to hit submit. Well, obviously this one worked. I guess it's designed for beginners. It's like getting a participation trophy, even though I wrote the code incorrectly. So first step is done. Next step, it said display the first name, last name, and city for everyone that's not from Payson. So the way we do this, we're going to select for the first name and the last and the city from the info table, correct? And we want to be specific where the city pretty much is except from Payson, from everyone that's not from Payson. Let's actually put the code in correctly so I don't look like a fool. So now the information gives me the last name and everybody that's from not the city of Payson. Let's go further. Now, the next thing that it says display all columns for everyone that is over the age of 40. Now, I'm kind of curious. SQL course. I just want to compare and contrast the information from the previous table that we had. Okay, so we got over 10 rows, about 11, and as you see over here, we're starting to be limited in regards to our rows because we're deciphering, we're limiting the information that we want to obtain. Right now we're only up to 9 rows. So now we're going to try and find all the information of anybody who's over the age of 40. So we got like 1, 2, got a couple. So let's do this. So we're going to select, I'm going to use this little star from the info where the age is greater than 40. Boom. Now we're only down to 4 candidates, as you see. We're getting smaller in regards to the data that we want because we're getting very specific. Now, let's see. Next thing that we want to do, it says that it says display the first and last name for everyone whose last name ends in AY. We go back, everyone whose first and last name ends in AY, like Gray, Gus Gray over here, Marianne May. So our information is going to get smaller. So let's take a look. Select first and last from the emp info table, where last, and then we're going to type in like in capital letters, and you're going to add this percentage mark, AY, last. Now we're down to the last two. Now, the last bit of information that we're going to type in, well, the last two pieces of information, it's display all columns for everyone whose first name equals Mary. So obviously we're going to dwindle down to one character, right? So let's take a look. This is how we're going to do it. You're going to go to select from the emp info table, where first is equal to Mary, and close it. Always use that no matter what. Always use this, or your query won't run. I promise you that. And I already these quotation marks here are supposed to be apostrophes. Boom. There we go. So we got Mary Jones from Payson. And we're going to display all columns now that display the name Mary. So this is our last entry. Percentage sign. Apostrophe, not quotation marks, remember that. And now we have all this information with every column that contains the name Mary within it. And that's how we extract data from this whole large database. And that's it.